This is Fred Davis again with your roving crew still heading west. The scenery has changed quite a bit since we crossed the Alberta border. The flat western plain has given way to a more rolling countryside, and black smoke smudges have started to dot the horizon. We're getting into oil country. On today's on-the-spot assignment, we're going to visit an oil field. Yeah, there it is. You know, it still seems strange to me, seeing these huge derricks rising up out of all these fertile farmlands. Incidentally, a lot of folks, myself included, make the mistake of thinking that that's an oil well. Actually, it's not. I found out that that's a rig used only for drilling. Let's move in a little closer and find out exactly what's going on here. You're the drilling foreman here, are you?
That's right, I am.
I'd be very interested in knowing, is this part of the drilling operation that's going on now?
Well, it's not actually drilling. We're pulling pipe right now.
Oh, that means that you haven't struck oil yet, then?
Oh, no, that won't take place for a while yet.
This pulling pipe, what does that mean?
Well, that means lifting those stands there that you see up in the derrick, pulling them all out. There's about 5,000 feet of them.
Oh, then they've been joined together in one long stem, have they, underground?
That's right, they have.
And I noticed them, they separate them up here on the platform, and now you have to pull them all out, do you? What is that, what is the reason for that?
Well, on the bottom end of them is a bit, and the bit does the drilling.
Oh, then the pipe actually is the motivating power to the bit underground, is it?
That's right. It's the drive shaft.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean that the bit wears out from time to time?
Oh yes, quite frequently.
I guess because of the kind of soil and that or rock that you're going through.
That's right. It's very abrasive.
Could I see one of the bits?
Yes, we have one of them right over here. This is the bit. It's a worn one, but it'll do for an illustration. This pipe turns to the right, which turns your bit, and that causes these cones here to rotate, and the teeth on them, as you see here, are worn down pretty good. Well, that cuts the formation in the bottom of the hole.
And how often do you have to change a bit? Do you know in advance how long they're going to last?
Approximately, yes. They'll last from 20 minutes to 24 hours.
Depending on how tough the rock is that you're going through.
That's right.
And these teeth here are that's the part that wears out as it turns around, is it?
That's what wears out. Well, the bearings wear out inside of these too.
Well, now that I know what happens underground, I wonder if it'd be all right if I went up on the derrick platform over there and had a look around.
Why, sure. But you'll have to get yourself one of these hard hats.
Okay. This pipe here, the hole, is that where the oil comes up when you strike it?
Yes, that's the place.
Is there any danger of there not being oil down there?
Oh, yes, there could be. It's happened quite a few times around here. But not in this particular hole, I don't think. This is a proven area.
I see. What is the depth that they've gone down right now?
Well, right now we're at 4,100.
4,100 feet. Can you go any deeper than that if you have to?
Oh, yes, we can go quite a way down. There's several holes that are around 17,000 feet. They're producers.
17,000. Gee, when I think of being up in a plane 10,000 feet high, that seems awfully high up in the sky, but it seems hard to believe that you can go down 17,000 and actually work and drill down there below the surface. I noticed the fellow that was working up on top there. What's his job?
That's the derrick man. His job is to unlatch those elevators and put his end of the pipe back into that rake.
That looks like dangerous work.
Yes, it is, but there's safety measures taken. As you notice up there, he's wearing a belt, and in case of a fire, he can take off on this safety line that's attached up there.
Thank you very much for your time, Sid. Now that we've seen the operation here on the field, we'd like to stop next at the geological lab. Here we'll find out the part of the oil story that lies beneath the ground. Gary, first of all, what is oil? Where does it originate?
The most widely accepted theory is that it comes from the creatures that lived in these seas around here many millions of years ago.
In the seas? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Come here and I'll show you. Many millions of years ago, this whole area was covered by sea. And if you can imagine this to be the old sea surface and this the old sea floor, the organisms lived and died in these seas. Then, at the same time they were living and dying, the coral reefs were being formed in here. Layers of rock were being deposited over these coral reefs in layers like that until we arrived at the present day surface here. The pressure and weight of these overlying rocks forced oil from these organisms into the nearby reefs.
Well, does that mean then that the oil is in rock and it's not just a body of liquid down there, right?
That's right. It's a body of rock containing the oil. The problem of the oil company then is to find these reef bodies and drill down to them for the oil.
Well, this has been quite informative, Gary. Thank you very much. Talking about the finding of oil, there's a popular misconception that when a well is successful, it gushes up above the surface and shoots out into the sky, like so. Actually, that's the exception rather than the rule. All that oil shooting up there is wasted, and no company wants to see that happen. The aim is to cap and control it right from the start. A producing well is much less dramatic than you might have imagined. But that's a producer. The hard work is over there. On that rig we were at before, they hadn't struck oil yet, so let's go back and see what the boys are doing now. The drilling bit is on the end of the last stand of pipe. As we've learned previously, the bit wears out from time to time, so it is pulled out and replaced. And then the new bit and pipe are lowered back again into the hole. Here you see it being lowered down the hole past the various layers of shale and rock that lie below the ground. Other sections of pipe are added until the bit is down again at the bottom of the hole. The traveling block then lifts up what is known as a kelly over the last stand of drilling pipe, and it's connected. This kelly is a square pipe as opposed to the round stands of drilling pipe. The kelly locks into the rotary turntable, which rotates all the drilling pipe and bit below ground. The turntable itself is driven by two 500 horsepower diesel engines. Attached to the top of the Kelly is a hose which forces liquid mud down the center of the drilling pipe. Let's take a look below the surface and see what this does. By this time, the bit is down at the bottom of the hole, drilling away at the rock. The mud, emerging from the pipe and bit, carries the cuttings and pulverized shale back to the surface. The mud's weight also acts as a stopper to keep underground gases and liquids under control. This continuous drilling, pulling the pipe, changing the bit, and drilling again, goes on until they reach the rock coral formation that holds the oil. Once this happens, the oilmen lower steel casing all the way down, which is what finally carries the oil to the surface. After the bit has been replaced, the individual 90-foot stands of drill stem are run back into the hole. The derrick man up top is about 85 feet above the derrick floor. He wrestles the top end of the pipe and clamps on the elevators. When all that pipe is back in the ground again, the men continue on with their drilling until they reach what they're looking for. If you've had any dreams about discovering oil someday, perhaps now you have a rough idea of just what's involved. This has been Fred Davis speaking to you from the Alberta oil fields near Edmonton, and hoping you'll join us again next week at this same time when the National Film Board will present another on-the-spot Canadian story.